Are you thinking about moving to Sarasota County with kids, but you're just not sure how things work with schools and all that? You have tons of questions. You just need answers. Well, we recently went through the same situation, and so we have a little bit of experience in this area, and we thought we'd share it with you today.
So sit back while we talk to you about Sarasota County schools. All right. The first thing that we learned is that they are county schools. So when I heard that word county schools, I was thinking of where we were before, where a county school was a very rural school. And actually, assuming that you're the same way, here all of the schools in the county are under one umbrella. So it's like one school board,
Superintendent.
one superintendent. So and it's all central, which is great. Like I didn't think about that as a positive or negative. I didn't really think about it, but having seen that work and then having seen them deal with building a new school, I think it's great that it is all like one thing. So when you see the word county schools, it is referring to in Sarasota County, it's referring to all of the schools in the county. But it also means that they're all in the same schedule in terms of like the academic calendar for days off and so forth. If there's hurricane days like we've had before, all the schools are having them, which I think is super helpful. So just keep that in mind that when we talk about Sarasota County schools, it's not referring to like a school in the country, it's referring to all of the schools in the county. So having said that, let's go through a few more things. The first thing for us that was really, I want to say weird, but I won't say weird. I'll say different.
Just an adjustment.
Adjustment was how the middle school, so I'm talking like 7th and 8th grade, that traditional junior high for those of you who are like our age, how they do their sports. So in Ohio, where we came from, you had junior high sports through your school, right? So if you're football, basketball, track, whatever, really everything but baseball, it was through your school, and you have practice every day after school. Your coach was hired through the school. Here,
yeah, it's just handled kind of like how it would be handled in high school.
High school, yeah. Here, there are very, very, very few athletics that are offered through the school.
In the middle school.
In the middle school. So I've seen like track, I've seen golf, volleyball, basketball.
That's about it.
I think that's it. And even that, it's going to vary from school to school. Our son wrestles, or let me rephrase that. All 4 of our boys wrestled. Our middle school son wrestles, but instead of being like an after school as a junior high kid, like he would have had up north, it's actually club and it's K-8, which is just so weird to me. But of course, that's not what we were used to. But when we're down here, I would say it's about half and half, depending on where my friends are from. Some of them are more what we were used to, and some are like, really? That's weird. Like, this is how it is where we grew up. In another state. So I just realized it varies by state.
Football's the same way. It's not a middle school sport, at least here that I know of, any of the schools I know of. It's all Pop Warner or club type football, which with those, it's not even maybe all kids from that school. It's kind of just a mesh from, it could be Northport, it could be Inglewood, Sarasota. You could have a mixture of kids from different communities all on the same team. So it was a little bit weird to us, adjustment wise. Just not what we're used to. We're used to the community. It makes up the team, basically.
And the other thing along with that is that it's when you're doing the Pop Warner and some of the club stuff, it's very age specific. And here, at least in our Southwest Florida area, they don't start kids later in school like they do up north. So like our boys are all summer birthdays and they all turned 6 and then started kindergarten. Here, that puts them like,
they're very old for the class.
Old for their class, yeah. Right. So when one of our kids was going to play a 14U sport, he was with kids who were all older than, older than him.
They were all freshmen in high school.
Yeah. Or a few random ones that were, 8th graders. So that was just a little bit different. And it's not right or wrong, good or bad. It just, we had no idea. Yeah. Like that just was such a foreign concept to us. So that was the big thing that we noticed in the middle school that we wanted to share. And like most areas, they have school choice, which we would have referred to as open enrollment where we were before. You need to apply for that. And there's different pieces to that, which we're not going to get into because we live on Venice Island and our kids just go to, in terms of like the public schools, they've just gone to where we would be districted. We do have one that's in a charter school, and we'll talk about that too. So for the charter school, there are different options for that. At the middle school, we have SLA that's here on the island, Student Leadership Academy. They have, I think it's about 100 kids per class max. One of our sons goes to Sky Academy in Venice, and I think they can have a little more than that, right around 100. There's also Sky Academy in Englewood. And then just to put that in like a perspective number, Venice Middle School has about 250 kids. I'm not sure what all the middle schools have, but that's where they are. So the charter schools are definitely smaller. I know there are other options as well, multiple other options. Those are just the ones that we're most familiar with. So there are lots of opportunities, educational opportunities in terms of where you want to send your kids, which I think is great. I didn't know there were so many options, but there really are a lot of options that way. And they have great, public schools too. I mean, we liked Venice Middle School. So there's just all of those different options that we wanted to share with you guys.
Now, with school choice, make sure you understand we're not talking about a traditional private school where we pay a tuition. These charter schools are paid for by the normal public school. So it doesn't cost us any extra money. As long as they get accepted into the charter school, it's no different from them going to the public school in the eyes of Sarasota County schools. The money's still the same. So it is nice because you can choose if you don't like the one school, you can choose to another school, and there's really nothing, as long as there's room in the school and then you get accepted. Mm-hmm. And that goes for the public schools too. You could apply to go to a different school, high school or middle school. Mm-hmm. As long as there's room in the school, you're allowed to do that. So It is really nice. It gives you options.
Yeah. And something else they have too that I think is a great option is a school called Pineview. And that is a school completely for gifted students. And you actually have to test into that. So if you are interested in that for your child and you think that they would make it, is the word I'm looking for, then they can test into that. And that's another option too. And that is a really neat offering that they have. So
yeah, Pineview is located up a little bit more towards Sarasota, but it's kind of between Sarasota and Venice.
Mm-hmm, yeah. So we already talked about Pineview, which is a great opportunity, but we also have a lot of college credit opportunities in high school. So our third son is a sophomore, and he will have 15 credit hours of college by the end of his sophomore year. And that is by not even leaving the Venice High School campus. Also, when you are juniors and seniors, you have the opportunity to go to take college classes down in Welland Park. And that's another great thing. And they also do not have study halls here, at least at Venice High School. So that gives you opportunities where they have like programs for you if you're going to work, or other types of programs that way, which are great options too. So the number of options, probably because of the size of the schools, and again, that whole county pulling together as one county school district, really gives a lot of opportunities for kids to learn and be involved in things. So some of the things we learned, one was that uniforms, if you need to get them, are expensive. They do have opportunities to buy used ones, and that helps. But if you're not there in time, or you haven't made the decision to go there, you're going to miss on that. But yeah, we were kind of surprised by that.
Not all schools require uniforms.
No,
by the way.
No.
He's at that charter school, and they happen to require
Correct.
it. That's our only experience with that.
And for those of you who are like, this school is too big, right, the last couple of years, they've graduated around 600 kids, I think. It is big for sure, especially some of our boys coming from a public high school with like 70 kids in their graduating class or in their grade. But you find your people with your activities, and we toured the building twice actually before we even moved here. And that was something that our high school tour guides came. Every tour guide we had not been through all of the years of schooling in in Florida, and some had come from small places, but they said whenever you get in activities, that's really who you hang around with. And we've seen that to be 100% true. Like he said, our boys wrestle, and their core group are other wrestlers, and that's who they tend to spend time with. There's also so many clubs and other activities that you can do. And that is where your kids will meet their people and kind of who they'll be with. So I wouldn't let the size of it scare you, because that has actually been a good thing for our kids. And you can obviously meet more people if you want to, but it's almost like with their activities, it's like being in a big, small area. So like it's big, but they can kind of meet who they're going to know and hang around with.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's been really good. I know that a lot of schools have this, so you're probably like, why are you mentioning this? But I mention it because it's a big school and this helps you feel connected. They have portals that allow you to check your kids' grades all the time, and actually specific homework assignments, so you can see if they're turned in or not turned in. And that has been really helpful with all of our kids. So if you're not familiar with that it can help ease it for you, where it's like, okay, we can see stuff.
And the teachers are very good about updating it fairly promptly. So it's nice. You always know where your kids stand.
Yeah. And also the teachers across all of the schools that we're familiar with here, which would be 3 different ones, all use Google Classroom. And I remember when COVID hit, that was your big thing, because one of the boys had a teacher that did not use it. And it was so hard to get their work. And here, if the kids are absent, like they just get on there, they can get it done. It's really easy. And that has been a nice thing too. So talking about like clubs and finding your people, also just to let you know, when I'm saying clubs and sports, we cannot forget to talk about the arts too. We have amazing arts here. Our band just went to England at Christmas time. There's theater. There's musical things, choirs, all those things across all the schools. So whether you like clubs or music or arts or acting or sports, whatever, it's all here. And I think that is a great thing too. Moving somewhere can be fun and exciting, but also maybe a little bit of an overwhelm. That's why I wanted to do this video. So if you were thinking about moving with the schools, you get a little bit of insight. We are happy to answer any other questions that you have about the schools, because our kids are in them. And we know what it's like to move with kids in school. So our information is in the description. Feel free to reach out and call, text, or email, and we're happy to answer questions about that and help you feel more comfortable. And also, of course, if you're looking to move to the area, reach out to us, and we're happy to help you with that too, and show you around this amazing slice of paradise that we live in. Hope you have a great day.